Yeah, hello. Let us discuss about project execution. I've already uploaded part of it already. Whatever is not covered in that will be captured in this particular video. We get around 27% of the questions are from project execution. The input side, if you see, we have the project management plan. The input side, we have the project management plan, approved change request, and enterprise environmental factors. We have discussed all these things in the prior videos. Tools and techniques, we have expert judgment, project management information system, and meetings. When we say project management information system, examples are a time accounting system, scheduling system, lessons learned capture systems, defect tracking tools, those kind of things. So these are some of the examples for project management information systems. And another tool are the meetings. The outputs are work performance information, change request, and project management plan updates. So during execution time, sometimes we go and update the project plan as well. A work authorization system, sometimes it is required, especially when multiple subcontractors or multiple stakeholders are operating on the same project, maybe multi-location. A work authorization system is required, and through the work order, we inform a particular team member or a team that they can start the work now. So especially in a project where there is a plumbing work, electrical work, mechanical work, and civil work. So this is very critical. So even if schedule everything is fine, but ultimately if somebody has to start the work, the work order will be issued. Only then they can start the work. So that is better. That results in better sequencing. Otherwise, a lot of errors can crop up because the painter may come and finish off painting, and after that the plumber will come. All those issues can crop up. The second process under execution is perform quality assurance. The input side, if you see, we have the quality management plan. Yeah, so here we have the quality management plan. Because during planning, when we discussed about planning, I think we discussed about the quality management plan as well as the 7 QC tools. Because it's all about what are the quality goals, and what are things we will be doing to achieve these quality goals, how many hours of testing, what all types of testing, what all types of check sheets, all those things are decided there. Then we have the process improvement plan. Sometimes the existing processes may not allow us to achieve the desired quality levels. So in that case, we need to have project-specific process improvement plans. Then The quality metrics comes as an input, the quality control measurements, project document updates. So all these things comes as an input, not critical. Tools and techniques, quality management and control tools, quality audits and process analysis. Outputs are change requests, project management plan updates, project document updates, organizational process assets updates. Because all these things will get into the capability baselines of the organization. And perform quality assurance. If the work performed is of good quality, no problem, we can move. But if it is of bad quality, then it will end up in rework, additional cost, and additional time. It's good cost. So that's why sometimes these quality gurus like Philip Crosby, he used to always say quality is cheap. So doing things with good quality is always cheap, because otherwise you'll end up doing a lot of rework. Then the optimal quality, this was something very interesting for me, or added a lot of value to me. Now, quality is not zero defects. It's all about delivering the agreed upon or the required level of quality. Unwanted quality also becomes a price of non-conformance. Okay, now the market is willing to take your product at this level. Now unnecessarily you are trying to improve it further to this level. That is waste actually. So expected cost and needed level of quality is fine. Unneeded quality, waste, it's all gold plating. So delivering unwanted quality is also known as gold plating. Gold plating is not just delivering unwanted features, even delivering unwanted quality is also gold plating. So I have a shirt which I'm using for the past 5 years, and I'm unable to get rid of it because it is still good. I'm not delighted with it because it was expensive. It was an expensive shirt, and I don't expect a shirt to last for more than maybe 1 to 2 years. So I'm not delighted with that type of quality. And quality versus schedule. If the experience quality is same as is in line with the plan quality, you progress well. But if the experienced quality is lower than the plan quality levels, you take additional time. Your schedules will go for a toss because of rework. Quality audits, it's an evaluation. Quality audits, it's an evaluation or inspection of a review of a project's quality assurance system can take place at scheduled or random intervals. There can be planned audits, there can be surprise audits. The purpose is to improve the quality performance of a project. The auditor should be a trained individual, can be internal or external auditor. And a control chart. Without measurement, real quality improvement is not possible. So a control chart explains this now. Let us say a customer has given us an order and customer has placed an order on us and he says he doesn't a plus or minus 5%, 10% schedule variance is fine with him. So we say customer specification limit is minus 10, plus 10 to minus 10. That is the customer specification limit. So he says whenever he conducts a review of the project, he doesn't want to see a schedule variance of more than 10%. Will we take the order or not? That is the question. So if my organizational capability is higher than this customer specification limit, then I can always go and take it. Now let's say my historical data shows that all the past projects we have done in -5 to +5, kind of a bandwidth. Then we can, that is the, we call it as the lower control limit and the upper control limit. LCL, UCL, that is the organization's capability baseline. Now, the first review we are here, no problem. Second review we are here, no problem. Third is here, no problem. Fourth is here, that means we have gone out of the customer's specification, the organization's capability baseline. So customer may not complain, at the same time our quality department can complain. So you take a corrective action, do a root cause analysis and take a corrective action. And then again next year. Then suddenly it went outside the customer specification limit. Then suddenly here it has gone outside the specification limit. So here it is outside the specification limit, so customer is going to complain. So again we have to analyze why it is happening, and this can be because of two types of causes, assignable causes or random causes. Assignable causes are something which we can control, like a poor raw material, poor workmanship, lack of training. So these things we can always control. Whereas random causes like an internet shutdown, cyclone, those kind of things, okay, we cannot control. So for assignable causes, we take corrective action and bring it back to control again. Now here if you see a cluster of around 7 data points happening next to each other. So that means something is stabilizing. It is worth investigating, because if you can learn the root cause for the stabilization, if we can learn from it, we can reinforce it and then get it institutionalized. So whenever we see 7 data points happening next to each other and you see a cluster or a pattern, immediately we call it as a rule of 7. So whenever we see a rule of 7 on a control chart, we have to investigate and do a root cause analysis and and find out the root causes leading to that. These 7 data points can be anywhere on the control chart. It can be within the LCL and the UCL, or it can be anywhere. It can be even outside the customer specification limits. So the rule of thumb is whenever we see a rule of 7, we have to take corrective action. Then Pareto analysis. Pareto analysis is based on 80-20 principle. It says 80% of the defects are caused by the 20% of the causes. So if we can control that 20% of the causes, we can eliminate 80% of the defects. So I'll repeat again. In 80-20 says that 20% of the causes contribute to 80% of the defects. So if I can control that 20% of the causes, I can eliminate 80% of the defects. So here if you see maybe the skill set issue and the tractor issue are the major contributors to the total number of failures. So if I can control the skill set issue and tractor issues, if I can concentrate and take corrective actions for skills issues and tractor issues, then I can eliminate 80% of the defects. So this is an hypothesis, okay, so it may not be exactly 80-20. I've done it at least 4 or 5 times in the past. But definitely we'll see the pattern. It may be 85-15, it could be 75-25. But you always see that pattern. Then check sheet is another tool. At the time of planning, we have to decide what all check sheets we'll be using, and during execution time, we do it. So we used to have this contract review checklist, requirements review checklist, design review checklist, code review checklist, those kind of things. Then comes the professional responsibility of a project manager. You always do the right thing, follow the right process, act ethically, fairly, and professionally. Watch for conflicts of interest or the appearance of conflicts of interest. Report violations, increase knowledge and practices, and deal with problems. See, always you get a question like, what is the most preferred approach by project managers when it comes to issue resolution? The most preferred approach by project managers is to confront the issue. You cannot run away from problems. You have to confront the issues. Then ensure individual integrity, contribute to the project management knowledge base, enhance individual competence, balance stakeholders' interest, interact with team and stakeholders in a professional and cooperative manner. So in order to get a full list of this or full coverage of this, my suggestion is go to pmi.org, download the PMP handbook, and when you go to the last page, there is a link, professional ethics. So click on that, then you get another document that is about the professional ethics of a PMP. So that will give you a full list of professional ethics as defined by PMI. It is a good investment because None of your answers should be in contradiction to whatever is given there. So that will act as a filter while choosing the correct answer. So go to pmi.org, download the PMP handbook. Towards the end of that document, you get a link that is professional ethics. Click on it, you get a full list of all these things. Then acquire, during execution time, we have to acquire the project team. So input side, we have all these things which we have already discussed. The human resource management plan we already discussed in planning. Enterprise environmental factors discussed before. Initiation itself. Organizational process, it's also we already covered. Tools and techniques, when it comes to human resources, pre-assignment, negotiation, acquisition, virtual teams, multi-criteria decision analysis. The outputs are project staff assignments, resource calendars, and project management plan updates. Then here, going back here, pre-assignment means, okay, while recruiting, instead of giving a permanent position, somebody on probation is a good example for pre-assignment, because during the probation time we evaluate that person. Negotiation is about negotiating about the joining time, salary, and all those things. Acquisition for a specific skill set, sometimes we can even go and acquire a company which has that skill set. When you say virtual teams, it is about distributed teams. That's about a team A working from India, B from China, C from Singapore, all working on the same project. So it's an example for virtual teams. Then multi-criteria decision analysis. So especially at the time of recruitment, if we want to professionally analyze these candidates, first of all, we have to decide on the weightages for their qualification, experience, joining time, for those kind of things. So we need to have weightages assigned. Then scoring against those weightages, every candidate must get a rating, so that we can always zero in on the best candidates very professionally. So that is the multi-criteria decision analysis. Now, once we get the team, the next step is develop the project team. So here, interpersonal skills. Interpersonal skills plays a major role. Then training, team building activities, ground rules. Ground rules is more like certain things we cannot violate. So one place where I worked, we had this internet norm, like when somebody walks into your cabin, don't change the screen. So that was a ground rule. Or don't criticize a person when he's absent, when he's not in the room. These were some of the ground rules. If you violate it, that will be treated pretty serious. You cannot shout at people. That is enough reason for you to lose your job. or you cannot go to a pornographic site from the office. You do that, you lose your job. These are some basic ground rules organizations will have for smooth functioning. Co-location, we have these days sometimes we allow the project teams to sit together in an open meeting room kind of a place and work. So everybody sits together and work. That improves the synergy of the team and decision making and communication. Then recognition and rewards, we have to, whatever recognition and rewards we have decided during planning, during execution time, it must be distributed. Then personal assessment tools, that is about the performance, goal setting, performance tracking, evaluation, all those things falls into personal assessment tools. The outputs are the team performance assessments and the enterprise environmental factors. Then develop project team. We already discussed this, so I'm just skipping. Then manage project team. So the input side we have human resource management plan, project staff assignments, team performance assessments, issue log, work performance report, and organizational process assets. Tools and techniques, observation and conversation, project performance appraisals, conflict management, interpersonal skills. Outputs, enterprise environmental factor updates, organizational process assets updates, change requests, project management plan updates, and project documents updates. And this is quite interesting. Talking about 5 types of powers of the project manager, or the 5 types of powers we have at the corporate world. So one is the expert power. You are good at something and you will be respected for that. So maybe you are a great techie, you will be respected for that. You are very good in management, you will be respected for that. You are a highly skilled, specialized mechanical engineer, you will be respected for that. That is expert power. Then reward power, because you can give increments and all, you can reward people, so they'll show some respect. Then the formal power, your position, your title, and your reward power, your cabin, your car, everything put together gives you some power. That is the formal power. And coercive power, because of all other powers, sometimes you get the right to dictate and direct and lead from the front, especially in crisis, especially during crisis situations. Then referent power, that means if my boss is very powerful, I'll also become powerful. If my boss is not powerful, then I cannot be powerful. So that is the referent power. So this could be the reason why most of the managing directors, drivers will have a special power. They will not be like other drivers in the company. That is because their boss is powerful. Then stages of team development, we have forming, storming, norming, and performing. So forming stage, the forming stage, the team just comes together and wondering whether decision to join the team was right or not. This happens even when you join a new company, the forming state, you keep asking this question to yourself like, did I make the right choice? Then storming, the team members begin to assert themselves and sometimes control issues emerge. And norming, the team begins to work very productively and performing, the team is really galloping. Now, as a manager, when the team is in forming state, you will be playing the role of a counselor. You will make people comfortable. When a new employee joins, you take him around, show the place, explain the facility, make him comfortable. That is the forming state. The manager plays the role of a counselor. Then storming, there can be cultural issues, there can be small fights, a small disagreement. So the storming state, when the team is storming, the manager should play the role of a moderator. And when the team is norming, the team begins to work very productively, then the manager should play the role of a motivator. And when the team is really performing, that is a time, that is very difficult. That is a time when you should take your hands off from the team, so the team can do very well, even if you don't advise them. So if you are working in a very professionally managed organizations, when you take the team to the performing state, there is a time when you get a promotion. Then conflict management. As we discussed before, the most preferred approach by project managers are confrontation. It is about confronting the issues, not the person. So we have to identifying the underlying problems, working out solutions. Focus is on ironing out the differences. It is also called a problem-solving approach favored by most project managers. Then a compromise, we call it as a win-win situations, involves working out a middle ground, also known as a win-win approach. Next favored approach to conflict management. So best is confronting the issue, then negotiate and get into a kind of a win-win arrangement. Then smoothing is another technique used by managers, like you highlight the agreements first and then we get into the disagreements. In meetings very often, at least I have seen this, like somebody comes and say, point 1 we are agreeing, 2 we are agreeing, 3 also we are agreeing, 4 and 5 we need to conclude, and then the discussion starts. So they are setting the tempo for the meeting. So that is known as smoothing. Then forcing. That is a coercive power. You have that coercive power, and sometimes you just say, as a manager say, just listen to me. That's it. Then withdrawal, that is the worst thing. Okay, so some managers just come to the office and go from the office. They don't resolve any issues. So their attitude is like, don't disturb me, I'll also not disturb you, kind of. So that is the worst thing for managers. Okay, so then next process is manage communications. The communication plan is done at the time of planning. Yeah, the communication plan is already there, and then work performance reports, everything we discussed. Then tools and techniques, we have to select on the communication technology, whether it is internet or paper-based or whatever, communication models, one-to-one or one-to-many. Is it a push? That means I'll send the reports to everybody. Is it a pull? Means they have to come to a website and see. Then communication methods, internet-based, digital, manual, all those things. Information management systems we already discussed. Performance reporting. Yeah, that is about sending the weekly reports, monthly reports, all those things. Outputs, we have the project communications, project management plan, project documents updates, and organizational process assets updates. This n into n minus 1 by 2. This is something which we have to remember. So in a team, if there is a 5-member team discussing things, they will have 5 into 4 by 2. 5 into 4 is 20 by 2, 10 communication channels. When the team size increases, the communication channels increases, and there is always room for miscommunication. So if n is the team size, we'll have n into n minus 1 by 2 communication channels. So if it is a communication between just you and me, it is just one channel. If there is one more person involved, that becomes 3 into 2 by 2, 6 by 2, 3 communication channels. But if 4 of us are communicating, that becomes 4 into 3 by 2, 12 by 2, 6 communication channels. So this communication channels grows exponentially as the team size increases. And so that, so it's a word of caution, so you have to manage it well. And for every effective communication, there is a sender, there is a message, and there is a medium. So there is an encoder, there is a medium, and there is a decoder, and there is a receiver. So we have to ensure that the message sent reaches the receiver in its intended form. So as per PMBOK, it is the responsibility of the sender of information to ensure that the recipient got it and understood the intended meaning of it. So I think this is execution, conduct procurements onwards are covered in the already uploaded video. So I'll stop here. It will be great if you can give your feedbacks to me as well as post your comments. If you have any questions, please post it as a comment. I can answer them. And if you have not subscribed to our channel yet, please subscribe so that we can be in touch. Thank you.